Well, I think that this public statement is a direct correlation to the wide open border that we have. Leadership in Washington, D.C., Republicans and Democrats alike should recognize that we are having, in fact, an invasion and start to secure the border. Just yesterday, I think that it came out that we have a fourth Iranian, unusual suspect that has been caught down in Texas. I mean, there are plenty of peaceful Muslims living here in the United States and in Illinois, and I call on them to rise up and talk about the strength in their communities and condemning Hamas. But I think it's a sad fact that our state police are now having to put out these warnings. But we do need to be vigilant. We don't know who's coming across our border and into our communities. I mean, Chicago is facing a migrant crisis. We're having 20 plus buses of migrants coming to our city. And now the governor is finally reacting and saying, we can't afford this. We can't sustain this. And, I think that Illinoisans do need to start calling attention to our leaders who are putting us in these terrible positions.
Mm. Yeah, well, and that's one thing Mary Miller actually yesterday was talking about at the Hesed House where I got to see Regan a little bit. And she was talking about the open borders and sharing with us that we've got what's going on in Israel and with the Hamas terrorist attacks. Who knows who's coming in through that southern border and will be weaponized against the Jewish community because that is their goal, right? I mean, I think, and I wasn't around during 9/11, right? I was 2 years old, but I saw videos of these Palestinians at the time after the Twin Towers they fell. Uh, these Palestinians were shouting "Death to America," and they were celebrating the the falling of those towers. And I don't know, it's worrisome. So wearing our head on a swivel, right? Being vigilant. I mean, it's kind of scary that we've got the ISP coming out and saying, "Hey, be careful."
I think that we're seeing all around the country and in news articles and live videos that we have, radicalized folks here in the United States that are in fact celebrating Hamas every day. And it needs to be called out. It needs to be drawn attention to, and that, you know, we don't need people in America that are not pro America. We're an
Yeah.
amazing country. We want people here that want to be here, that want to work, that want to, become part of the American greatness. And so there are already people here who are potentially a threat to our American citizens. And so I do encourage everyone else, like you said, to be vigilant, to pay attention, see something, say something. We do need to come together as a community and as a state, and we need to demand our leaders do better.
Yeah. Well, and one more thing that I wanted to talk with you about pertaining to the immigration issue. I think that uh, there's this really weird housing thing going on in McLean County, and this is going to be in your district when you win the 88th, right? McLean County, we have a really huge housing crisis, so-called crisis. But what's happening is a lot of these multifamily homes are popping up and there's not really a demand, an increased demand. As you know, we have this mass exodus coming or going out of Illinois. People are not moving to the state of Illinois. Now, McLean County has kind of weathered a lot of that. We haven't lost a whole lot of it. We were one of the only counties to not lose population within the last couple of years. Now, we have remained the same. There's not this huge demand of people coming and moving to McLean County, but yet all of these multi-family housing units are going up, these huge complexes. I'm just kind of curious your thoughts about that, or possibly even Lincoln College. Now, there has been talks of, Lincoln College being converted into some sort of immigrant facility. I wouldn't be shocked if that comes out. I haven't heard anything more of that, but one of these types, LaShawn Ford's office, I tried to reach out to him. He's a state representative, and his office never got back to me. I was curious, he's a Democrat, right? It's impossible to get to their offices. It's kind of incredible, and I've done that before where you call Republican legislators and they'll pick up the phone. When you call Democrat legislators, like it's like usually one of their office people will try to get back to you. But um, Regan, your
Well,
thoughts about where are we going to put them? You think that we're going to put them in these housing units, the colleges, where?
Well, I have heard JB Pritzker say that he is going to call upon smaller towns, cities, and villages throughout the state to take the overflow of migrants that Chicago cannot sustain. And, I think it's going to be important that our local county boards, our local municipalities, uh, are truthful and say, we can take them, we can't take them. I mean, to your point, in McLean County, if you're not having a need for those housing units, they may be there potentially for that use. I mean, here in Decatur, we have a housing crisis for our own citizens of Decatur, and we have waiting lists for Section 8 housing. We have 400 applicants for 10 spots. And so there is a need for us to be having affordable and safe housing for our own community members. But it will be interesting to watch, but we can't just wait. We need to be proactive. We need to call upon our elected officials. I applaud you for reaching out to the office of our congressmen and women, because they do need to listen to us. They do need to hear our concerns. And if our communities are not prepared to take on a number of migrants, then we have to be confident in saying no.
Yeah, well, one thing too I wanted to get your reaction on Joliet. I believe the mayor there actually shut down. There was this weird thing that JB did where he was giving money to these municipalities
Of course, it
without
always
even
comes with
telling.
money.
Yeah, but without even telling them, Regan, I was just like, wait, so how do you give money to people who don't even want it for that purpose? So the Joliet mayor, he said, you know what, JB, I don't want your money. I don't want the grant money for these illegal immigrants. We don't need it for that purpose, and I don't want them here. So he wanted to withdraw this grant, calling it unsustainable. And he says we cannot do what the grant says, and I found out in the news like everybody else did. I had no knowledge that this grant was applied for. So via the Joliet Township, they went underneath the the Joliet leaders,
Leadership.
or yeah, they went under his nose, and I was just like, wow. So it
Well,
would.
elections have consequences, and we do need to pay attention to our elected officials at every level. To your comment there, someone had to apply for that grant money. And,
Mhm.
I do think that those who think money and power are just going to be, acceptable reason to force situations upon our local municipalities need to be called out. We do have the power of the people. We need more people rising up. We need more people saying that this isn't sustainable, that this isn't what our community signed up for. Chicago can be a sanctuary city, but McLean County doesn't need to become the next Cook County.